Hello everyone, I'm Mike Sherman and it's time to talk NBA and OKC. Joining me is the Oklahoma's NBA guru, Darnell Mayberry. And Darnell, it's time to play true or false. True or false, Oklahoma City will end up competing with overseas teams for players.
I'm close to saying true on this. I'm close to saying true. I'm going to go with false. I think this is a one-year deal. You're seeing Josh Childress, Carlos Arroyo, Nanette Christic, a couple of other foreign guys who are going back overseas. I think I'd like to see it happen more than 1 year before I'm ready to say that it's getting to the point where Oklahoma City is going to have to compete for these guys. So that's the main reason. But I'm close to saying true.
Well, you're moving because we talked about this a couple weeks ago and you said absolutely not. I think something may be persuading you. Josh Childress's contract. It's $20 million over 3 years, I think, and because of the exchange rate and the weakness of the dollar, an American team or an NBA team would have to pay him $27 million over the same time frame to equal that. To me, that's big bucks for a marginal guy. And guess what? Every team needs that 7th, 8th, and 9th player. The question becomes really, are they just going to go to the D League to replace Josh Childress? We'll wait and see. Next question, true or false, Oklahoma City General Manager Sam Presti is making the right call with Robert Swift?
I'm going to have to go with true on this. Robert Swift is a guy, he's going into his 5th season, but only 4th playing. He had to sit out a full season because of injury. But he's only played in 71 games. This is a former 12th overall pick out of high school. He's only played in 71 games. Now, I've been accused of this. I'm at fault for this. I've called Robert Swift sort of a bust. I've doubted his ability. But then when you look at it and realize that he's only played in 71 games, I think you have to at least see what you have in him. I mean, you don't really have any other world beaters at center, so you have to take a chance on him. And at $3.5 million, if no one comes along and offers him more and you can get him at that rate, I think you have to take the chance and see if he can be your center for the future.
Two things. One is when you read Sam Presti's comments in your piece on Monday, he says Robert's had a solid summer of rehab. Solid.
Yeah.
So he's not world beater in the gym, it doesn't sound like. Although the last time we saw Robert Swift, he had more muscles and more tattoos.
Yeah.
He looked better. He looked a lot better than the first time we saw him down here at the Ford Center when he was in the McDonald's All-American game. And you're wondering, why is this guy coming out of high school and going jumping in the NBA? Number two, though, is you always tend to take more of a chance and be more patient with bigs than you do with littles.
They develop slower than point guards and shooting guards. So
right.
That's a good point.
And there's guys, 7 foot. That's helpful. Robert Swift could go in there and give them 4 fouls in the post, give them some defensive presence. You want to know, maybe he can be that guy. And like you said, I think it's low risk. I'm going to go with you. True or false, Oklahoma City will sell out the season.
I'd like to say true on this. I really would like to say true. Clay Bennett has said that the season ticket request list is approaching 18,000. You got to figure most people want more than one ticket when they're requesting tickets. I know you're probably interested in 2 or 3, or
somebody told me that every name on that list really represents 3 names. I don't know if that's right with the averages, but anyway.
You could probably say at least 2.5. I mean, most people are trying to get more than one ticket. I don't think most people are going to go in and say, just give me one ticket. So I think if you just double that, that's 36,000. Now, how many people will actually buy the tickets once the ticket prices come out? That's the question.
That's the altar call.
But you know what? I think, I don't think it's going to be as big a shock as some people are thinking it might be when these prices come out, because people are familiar with it from the Hornets. And so even though they're going to be higher, I think you have that base, that starting point that okay, I paid $999 for this ticket in section whatever.
My question is, do they want to sell out? Seems to me, my whole life when I was going to NBA games, I'd be there somewhere in January and I'd hear these promotions for mini ticket plans for Christmas. Part of the deal is you like to get people in these mini ticket plans, these 3 and 4 game packages, special hybrid things, or the 6 game package. It's a way of getting new customers. And the problem is if they sell all their tickets out as a complete sellout, where's the rotation of people coming in? Now I think you're going to have group sales and things like that. To me, it's a question of bookkeeping. Are they going to have a sellout for every game? I'm going to say false, but I think it's going to be close. Next question, true or false? Chris Paul should replace Jason Kidd as the point guard for Team USA.
That's absolutely true. I mean, all you have to do is go back and look at how Chris Paul played against Jason Kidd in the second round of the playoffs. He absolutely destroyed Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is old. He's a step slower he's probably 4 or 5 steps slower than he used to be. So Chris Paul, Chris Paul handles zone. He handles man-to-man. There's not really much on the court Chris Paul can't do. He's becoming a good shooter from the outside. He really developed that in this game. So I think he's a much better shooter than Jason Kidd. So I definitely think he should be ahead of Jason Kidd.
Now, you're talking all about the offensive side. The truth of the matter is the only reason to go with Jason Kidd are two. One is experience, and the other one is physical presence. He's a much bigger guy. He's 6'5", built like sort of a strong safety in football. The problem is his will to play defense or his ability to play defense is really fading fast. We saw that in the playoffs when the Hornets, and he's not the physical presence that he could. Remember, he was a big-time rebounder, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Jason Kidd triple-double story is this guy will go get you 10, 11, 12, 13 rebounds. You like that. Chris Paul's not going to get that, but he's had some 10 and 12 rebound games.
And he'll consistently get you 5, 6.
He's more about quick to the ball rather than he is going to the glass. But at this point, it's clear who the better player is. It's CP3. Hey, on to play multiple choice. Last question. Who would you like to see Oklahoma City play in the home opener?
You know, I wrote about this probably a week or two ago. I like Portland. You know, they're not the upper echelon of teams. Like, they're not the Celtics, they're not the Lakers, but they're not the Atlanta Hawks or the Memphis Grizzlies either. They're sort of the middle of the road. They're up and coming. They have, young players who are going to be stars. Greg Oden is finished his rehab. He should be back at full strength next year. We could see his debut. Brandon Roy, Martell Webster, LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, they have some young stars who are going to be the future of this league. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook versus Jared Bayless. I think you have interesting matchups that you could see in Portland.
Now, I'm not sure that that's the ideal matchup because instead of being about the opener, instead of being about the first real official permanent NBA game in Oklahoma City, it's going to be, hey, who made the best draft choice in the first round?
Yeah.
Was it Oklahoma City or was it Portland? Because Jared Bayless went out and lit it up in the summer leagues. And so those two guys, Russell Westbrook, Jared Bayless, are always going to be compared. To me, if you're Oklahoma City, you want a game you can win. Right now in the West, it looks like Sacramento's the best choice. That's the team that the Hornets opened with the first time. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us. More on the NBA and OKC every day in the Oklahoman as it happens online at newsok.com.